In 2018, a drone nearly collided with a Frontier Airlines plane as it approached the Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. And in April 2020, a passenger was killed in the Waterloo Underground station in London, after falling into the gap between the train and the platform. The tragedy in London and the near miss in Las Vegas underscore how regulatory oversight is not just important, but absolutely essential. And it serves as the segue for today's video: regulatory compliance. More specifically, we will address three main questions. What is regulatory compliance? Who are the regulators? And why is it important? So, let's get started. In plain English, regulatory compliance simply means conforming to a rule, such as a specification, policy, standard or law. That's pretty much it. However, the regulatory bureaucracy is not that cut and dry, as there are often different classifications and governing bodies depending on the use of the product. Standards too may often vary by country, as well as governing bodies. For example, Boeing will need to satisfy one set of standards so that this Boeing 787 aircraft can continue flying and not be grounded, while a blood test manufacturer working to get Food and Drug Administration clearance will need to comply with completely different regulatory standards. However, this is only an introductory video, and regulatory standards are a subject unto their own, meaning Aplos will address specific regulatory standards in separate videos. So, who are the regulators? That depends on the industry to which the product belongs, the country in which you are seeking regulatory clearance, as well as the product's classification, all of which Aplos will address in future videos. We will also discuss various regulatory authorities in future videos. For now, a few examples include the Medicines and Health Regulatory Agency, which regulates medicines and medical devices being sold in the UK. The Federal Aviation Administration in the United States, which regulates anything that pertains to flying, from drones to the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft, as well as the Rail Accident Investigation Branch in the UK, which is responsible for train travel safety in Britain, from the London Underground to trains about to depart St Pancras Station. Finally, the Food and Drug Administration regulates medical products in the United States, from COVID vaccines to antibiotics to blood testing. These are just a few examples. And finally, why is regulatory compliance so important? There are three main reasons. First, without regulatory clearance, products cannot be marketed or sold. But it goes beyond that. Companies obviously like to tout their products, but without the seal of approval from a regulatory agency, there is no way of knowing if these products are actually safe to use and consume. In 2020, at the height of the COVID pandemic, Russia announced that they had manufactured the world's first COVID vaccine, the Sputnik V vaccine. But as of this video's production in 2024, no government from the United States to the United Kingdom to Australia have approved its use. Nor has it gotten European Union approval. In short, no Western country has approved the Sputnik vaccine. Part of it may be geopolitical, with tensions between Russia and the West. However, the medical journal Lancet subsequently published an article raising concerns about both data discrepancies and reporting of interim data of Sputnik V. Lastly, regulatory compliance is important because it can eliminate, or at least address, flawed products that may be on the market. On January 5, 2024, on an Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9 aircraft flying from Portland International Airport to Ontario, California, the door plug blew out shortly after taking off from Portland Airport. This in turn caused an uncontrolled decompression of the aircraft. Fortunately, the plane made an emergency landing back at Portland Airport, with all passengers and crew surviving. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, is currently investigating. However, we already know from a preliminary report they published in February 2024, the door plug had been installed with no bolts. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration temporarily grounded the Boeing MAX 9 aircraft until they could inspect other 737 MAX 9 aircraft. In this case, while a flawed product has not been banned per se, the appropriate regulatory watchdog, in this case the Federal Aviation Administration, has intervened to address what was clearly faulty production on the part of Boeing. So how can the Aplos team assist? Aplos Device Regulatory Consulting UK Limited helps companies interested in getting regulatory clearance for their products but without the bloated fees and intimidating jargon. We can help with advising clients on material to include in a submission, reviewing submissions, doing a gap analysis, and compiling regulatory documentation from scratch as well as more. From our London-based offices, we work with companies all over the world. Contact us today to learn more about what we do, your needs and how we might be able to assist. Please let us know too. What questions do you have? What would you like the Aplos team to address? Stay tuned for more videos on this channel. And thank you as always for watching.